afternoon. It's Wednesday. It's 3 o'clock where I am. Tell me what time it is where you are, if you feel like sharing. It's lovely to be back with you. I'm going to play a couple of songs and then bring in our special guest from the northeast of England, Mr. Nev Clay. I'm very excited about that. It's a return visitor, a return guest. The requests are live as well, so feel free to put something in the chat, or if you're on Twitch, to use the little magic request box to put something in there. There's a couple of things queued up from last week that I didn't get to yet. And yeah, but I'm going to start with one of my own called Don't Mind from the last record. And yeah, it's about getting older.
Strong words, few deeds. Tell me what a friend should be. Go again, roll the dice. Show me where my heart should be. Never mind if we see the day. When it comes, it surely waits. Won't last, oh, is it too late? Lift the cup, lift the plate. If you don't mind, if you don't mind, if you don't mind, if you don't mind. The wounds, these short lives, don't mind me while I'm saying out of my mouth, or was he reason pearls, or was he turpentine? But you don't mind, but you don't mind, but you don't mind, but you don't mind, if you don't mind, but you don't mind, but you don't mind, but you don't mind.
Don't mind. I can see Nev clapping in the distance. Yeah, it's lovely to be here. Hiya, Ariel. Ariel from the Burning Hell is watching out in Prince Edward Island. We all got to play together. Nev's waving. He can wave in person later. So's Matthias. I'm gonna play a song on the piano here. I have a song called All We Know, which is from my last record, and my grandma watches, and she tells me that every time I introduce the song, every time I say I'm going to play All We Know, she thinks I'm going to play a Nat King Cole song called For All We Know. So I tried to learn it for her, but there are like loads of fancy chords, fancy jazz chords, what Nev called expensive chords. Like add nines and diminished and half diminished and things like that. So I tried to work it out, but it was way too complicated for me. So my good friend and former housemate, Mr. Gregory Burton, who is a jazz pianist, transcribed it for me and sent it to me last week. So I'm going to finally play this song for Jenny. Say hello to Jenny Sunderland in the chat, people of the world. Nev's waving. So yeah, let's see if I can do this. There's a lot of chords, but interesting ones, like kind of crazy stuff like that. Like, what's that all about? That shouldn't work. But if you follow it up with, then it's like, of course that works. But it has this interval in it. Those notes don't go together. Anyway, I'm going to play it. Stop talking. For all we know, we might never meet again. Before you go, make this moment sweet again. We won't say goodnight until the last minute. I'll hold out my hand, and my heart will be in it. For all we know, this may only be a dream. We come and go like a ripple on a stream. So love me tonight. Tomorrow is made for some. Tomorrow may never come. For all we know, tomorrow may never come. For all we know. Nat King Cole, For All We Know. Mostly got it. If anybody wants to talk about jazz chords sometimes, me and Nev are going to have a chat about it. Right before I introduce Nev, though, I just want to say if you like what you're seeing and you want to share it, please do. It makes a big difference if you send it around on the Facebooks and Twitters and whatever. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce our guests all the way from Newcastle-ish. We're going to get specific soon anyway, but it's Mr. Nev Clay. Nev, how are you doing?
Hello, Tim. You all right? Oh.
Smashing. How are you doing?
That was really gorgeous.
Thank you. It's a lovely song. It's like, I mean, it's one of those things, it's like, it's got some beautiful lines in it, like, I'll hold out my hand and my heart will be in it. But ultimately, it's just like, go on, sleep with me. Like, that's... Tomorrow might not happen, so come on.
That old
done
gambit.
very smooth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But done very smoothly. Rebecca
Yeah.
Little saying hello, as is Ariel and Matthias. If anybody wants to say hello to Nev,
hello,
please
Ariel
do.
and Matthias. Hello.
It's lovely to have you back. I was talking to you when we did the little sound check a few days ago about when we did this before, and it kind of blew my mind looking at the video and seeing that it was from August 2020, which is a very long time ago. And at the time we were talking about a tour that we were hoping that was going to happen for November that year, and it didn't, but it did happen November this year. So
Yeah.
between those shows,
Last
we
year.
have got to we have got to see each other. So
Yeah.
it's pretty lovely. So it's it's like an annual thing now.
And even that feels like years ago.
Yeah.
The one in November.
Yeah.
It's so mad.
But it was a beautiful show.
Time's a funny thing.
Yeah, very elastic, right? Especially at the moment. Yeah, but how have you been? I mean, and like over here in Canada, I'm in Montreal. There's no shows happening yet. There's a kind of sense that it might get rolling again at some point in the next few weeks. But there's stuff not happening here. But are things happening over there at the moment?
Yeah, quietly, yeah. I've done 2 gigs this year. Well, it's just good because it's only the start of February, so... Yeah, it's getting back into it, It's more like the big stars are cancelling. Like, Bob Mould was meant to play Newcastle yesterday, but he had to cancel. So but then that meant I could do another gig. So it was all right. It was fine. Yeah, it's just gentle, and I think that's fine because I think people need to ease themselves back into it.
I mean, even those shows that we were doing last November, it all felt quite strange. So yeah, the fact that there's been that huge surge of cases since then just makes it all feel stranger and harder again. But,
sure, and it's always hard, It's the hardest job in the world, isn't it? Even this is hard, As relaxed and peaceful as you make it look, it's a hard thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think especially I've been doing it for a long time now, so I don't think about it so much. But yeah, it is a strange little world. You're getting a lot of hellos from John Jones and Sarah Kent.
Sweet, hello. Oh, hello, Sarah. Wow, thanks very much.
And yeah, if anybody has any questions or requests for Nev, just put them in the chat, and we'll try and get to them. But
yeah. And shout them out through the song. I mean, I'm quite happy for that. Just shout. I'm going to try and not interrupt myself, but it's really hard, Well,
I did try and warn the viewers last week because I played one of your songs, and I must have been completely channeling you because I never do this, but I stopped in the middle of the song, and I lost my thread. I forgot the words, but then just started talking about something else, and went back in. But no, feel free. You're my guest, so
yeah, okay. I'll try not to, but let's see what happens. Hang on. Right, I'm just getting me wires in a tangle here. Yeah. I don't normally have as many wires, Right, so this is a song. I think I've only played it once, but it's about. Oh yes, I wrote it 15 years ago for a unaccompanied singing competition at the Cumberland Arms in Byker, where we played, and it was a singing competition for. In memory of John Birmingham, who he was a big singer and used to do a lot of singing downstairs at the Cumberland.
Right.
That little room
with the fireplace. We were all trying to keep warm around there.
So I wrote this song about when I used to go busking, and I went to London in the early 80s, and then I came back in the mid 80s, and I spent a year busking. And I'd never done it before, and I've never done it since. But so it's about that year,
Right.
But it's about one specific incident as well. So, but I think because this is an international show, so I thought, I should. It is, isn't it? So I thought I should explain some sort of parochial elements of the song. Right. So one thing is Marks and Spencer's is a big chain of shops in the UK, And at Christmas time, there's always people selling Christmas paper outside of Marks and Spencer's. Okay.
Right.
Another thing that you get a lot of in Newcastle at Christmas time is old blokes play. Well, you used to back in the 80s. Old blokes playing harmonicas, and they would play the harmonica to get the money for a bottle of QC sherry. And then they would drink the sherry, and then they would carry on playing the harmonica. So that's in the song. And then your listeners will need to know that EastEnders is a very popular soap opera in the UK. All right. You might not have heard of EastEnders, but the theme tune went da 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 da. Do you know the song?
Oh yeah.
By Anita Baker. Anita Baker sang the song, and it was called "Anyone Can Fall in Love." Anyway, when I used to go busking, not to spoil the surprise, but that was the favourite song. Because EastEnders started in 1984, and then the song came out in 1986. So all the grannies, that was all they wanted to hear, And I ended up despising it and despising Stevie Wonder, But oh no, hang on. I despise Stevie. Obviously I don't despise Stevie Wonder, but the other song that came out that year was "I Just Called to Say I Love You."
Right.
So, so I spent most of that year playing the EastEnders theme tune, and "I Just Called to Say I Love You" by Stevie Wonder. So those two things feature in this song, Yeah, and that's sort of it. And right at the end, I mean, not to explain the whole thing, but there's a little reference to "You are the sunshine of my life," but your listeners are going to have to. Yeah, but your listeners are going to have to listen out for that, you know. So, and I should say as well, this tuning, because you asked me about it, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's basically Dadgad, right, for the guitarists, but I've dropped it down to C, G, C, F, G, C, right? So I've dropped it down a tone, but then the fourth string I've left on the D. So it's C, G, D, F, G, C.
Beautiful.
Sounds dreamy. And the reason why I've done this is because when I was a kid, I used to love listening to the bells whenever I went into the town once a week, you know. And I think it was the way that the bells, like the harmonies, the notes are really close together, and that's quite hard to get on a guitar, you know. So it's like, that sort of thing, you know. I love that. So that's
beautiful.
Anyway, that's part of it. Right. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So, and finally, sorry, Tim. I'm just gonna. You know what it's like. Ariel and Matthias know what it's like, and so does Sarah. But I'll play it really quickly, and then maybe there'll only be time for one more song. We'll see how we get on, all right? And the song's called Strummer, right? Because a lot of the buskers you see are just strummers, you know. And I know that shouldn't be a derogatory term, but it's just, so it's called Strummer, right? So. Though my busking days are over, there's a few things I remember, like the smell of dirty copper on my fingers in November, and the Christmas paper sellers outside of Marks and Spencer's, and the sherry sweet aroma of the bloke with the harmonica, and the jumper you were wearing, and the smile upon your face as you threw your chewing gum into my guitar case. I was just a strummer, wearing gloves without the fingers, killing songs by Frank Sinatra, Status Quo and Stevie Wonder, and the favourite of the grannies, the theme tune to EastEnders. I just called to say I love you, though I'm not sure that I still do. But the jumper you were wearing, and the smile upon your face, like a wintry ray of sunshine on my life. That's
beautiful.
That's a truncated version, you know, because what I want to do after that is have about 10 minutes of strumming, you know.
Right.
So that's the...
Be a proper strummer.
Yeah. What I should say, just for your listeners, people who are still listening, is that's a true story, right? That this girl came up and she was wearing a blue jumper with a reindeer on it, and she threw a stick of chewing gum into my guitar case, but I've still got it. It was like
unchewed, it was, in the wrapper.
Wrigley, yeah, it was Wrigley spearmint, and I've still got it in one of my guitar cases in the cupboard, you know, so thank you.
Amazing, that's beautiful. Getting a lot of
thank you.
People are enjoying the chat, so I don't think we need to worry about it so much. But yeah, if anybody has any questions, do pop them in the chat. There was a request from Matthias. I don't know if we're gonna have time for. I mean, you know, if you want to change something out, you're very welcome. But Matthias is requesting All for the Love of a Music Journalist. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You can think about it. You got a bit of time to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I might give that a try. It's been a long time, Matthias. But that's okay. You know that song, right? The only review I got for that album, Pear Shaped, was from Folk Roots magazine.
Yeah. And
the quote was, inverted commas, all for the love of a music journalist, and then cheeky bugger.
That's the whole thing.
It. That was the whole quote. That's the only review the album got. That was absolutely brilliant.
Well, Matthias is saying you can just play it next time in Newcastle when we're over there, if you.
Okay, I could try and do it. I'll just have to retune the guitars. Yeah. That's all, you know. Yeah. But that's okay. Yeah, let me think about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But did you want to give us another? Just get right into it. Give us another tune.
Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah. Now this is quite a. I wrote this one. We actually started having gigs last summer, and I played. I played a gig at the Clooney. You know the Clooney too?
Yeah.
I think we played there. Definitely Matthias and Ariel played there. And and it was like Nev Clay and friends. So in the afternoon I had me friends, Claire Welford, who plays as Yakka Doon, who's absolutely amazing, and Graham Shipcoat, who's brilliant. And then in the evening I had, who did I have in the evening? John Lee. Oh no, John Lee and Graham, doesn't matter, does it? You know, but anyway, I had some lovely people. I've forgotten someone in. I feel really bad. John Lee, Graham Shipcoat. Anyway,
if you're watching and you're upset, person that Nev's forgotten, please let us know.
God, I don't want to waste any airtime, but whoever you are, it was a magic afternoon, and I loved you. You know. So, and anyway, I was thinking about without quoting Sting, you know, how fragile we are. That's what I was thinking about, you know.
Right.
And I was thinking about what it felt like to be back in an audience, like the anxiety around that, and the anxiety of being on the stage and all of that, you know. And then I was thinking about, I do love, you know, Pema Chodron, you know, the Buddhist nun, you know. And I love all her stuff about how sadness and tenderness and empathy are all sort of mixed together, and just poor old bodies, you know, poor old bodies. So that's you know, and a bit of self-pity in there as well. So let's see how it goes. And the other thing I did with the gig at the Clooney was I played all the songs in standard tuning, which I've never done. Egg. So I know
I've never managed that.
So this sounds a bit trad, you know. Doesn't it? I mean, it's bloody standard tuning. It's toss, isn't it? But it is good for. It's good for expensive chords.
Yeah.
There. Okay, let's just give it a shot. It's only 4 verses, you know, but it's quite quick. Sorry.
Lovely.
Plus, I love singing about people at bus stops, you know. Poor old bodies at the bus stop. Good on them, they've got something to do. People say time flies when you're busy, but it's time that we fly through. But it's time that we fly through. Poor old bodies at the Olympics, that's the best they'll ever be. Maybe bronze for sloth and... Oh, hang on. Oh, that's it. That's it. Bronze for sloth and lethargy. This is the middle eight, instrumental middle eight. Oh, and this line, the next line it's like a nod and a wink to Leonard Cohen. All right, so you know when Leonard Cohen says, "I'm aching in the places where I used to play."
Right.
So this is a homage to that line. Okay. Aching where it didn't used to, can't do what it used to do. Poor old body feels diminished. That's what memory does to you. That's what memory does to you. Poor old body sat in the audience. Poor old body sat on the stage. Hope you find some comfort in others. Hope you find some peace with age. Hope you find some peace with age.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
As a Montreal-based show, we appreciate the Leonard Cohen nods. I walked up past his grave just yesterday. That he's buried in the cemetery just on the mountain behind where I live. So get to visit him on my walks.
Amazing. Is that where, like, because you used to go to the monastery at the top of the mountain? Is that where it was? Was it?
There's round the back of the mountain that is the mount in Mount Royal, like Montréal. There's a huge cemetery, and there is I don't know I don't know about his sort of like Buddhist activities in Montreal specifically. I know that he was definitely in a monastery out in California.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah. Anyway, Leonard.
Okay.
What a genius.
Yeah, what a guy.
I think we did we get a little request in there? Sorry. There is a request for Green Leaves as well, so I don't know if that one is on the
the
list.
Okay.
I mean, I'm obviously a huge fan of that piece because
I know.
A few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look. If you don't mind us spend a bit of time tuning this up a bit,
not at all. How are you with the old talking and tuning, or is it like one or the other sort of thing?
Let's find out.
Let's find out. I can do a little bit of fill-in as well, because I do want to do some housekeeping for the people back home. There is this is a listener-supported experience, so and 50% of the donations every week go to the guest artist. So there is a support link in the video description where you can donate through PayPal or credit card, or if you're in Canada through Interac. So please support generously, but any amount is appreciated, honestly. You've kept this thing on the road for a year and a half, and and it's just amazing to be able to bring in wonderful guests like Nev, and the transport costs to get him over here from Newcastle are quite high, so it makes a difference. So yeah, please support if you can, but just know that your eyes and your ears they're gift enough, they're donation enough as well. You don't need to. We just want to do this thing anyway. I'm rabbiting a bit. Did you get there already?
You know what? Yeah. So this is. I just thought, well, yeah. Well, look, I'm cheated a bit, really, right? Because I only had to tune the the 4-string down, you know, and then it's in Dadgad now,
Yeah.
but it's in C G C F F G C.
It's not as catchy.
Let's
is it?
just try it. You know what? I haven't, but I am gonna. Just because it's easier to tune to this rather than tuning into the Green Leaves tuning, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Although I'd only have to tune one other string and we could do Green Leaves as well, but anyway. But I'm going to try this one. But the reason why I'm going to try this is because right at the start of this song, right, which is about a music journalist working for the NME or something, right? And when I wrote it, well, I still do. I love MX. Have you heard of MX80 sound?
I don't think so.
On Rolf Records. Okay, well, they came out of San Francisco in like 1974, 75. And Bruce Anderson, who I think was the singer, one of the guitarists, he's just died anyway, so... but they're an amazing band, absolutely amazing. So, hence the first line of this song, right? Hang on. And I apologise, Matthias, because I haven't played it for 15 years. But let's see how it goes. Oh, I just want to say, I've been doing this ancestry thing, right? And I've just found out that one of my ancestors, it was one of my great granddad's brothers. Moved to Newminster in British Columbia.
All right, West Coast.
Just in case there's anyone from
I know
West
Stephen's
Coast
watching
listening.
on the West Coast. If that's any relation, Stephen, let us know.
Oh, cool. You just never know. It's a small world. Sing along if you know the words. She's heard of MX80 sound, takes taxis, loves the underground, English literature degree. Ah, she's addicted to hyperbole. I did it all, I did it all, I did it all, I did it all for the love of a music journalist. In the sticks for a field report. That's it, okay, yeah. In the sticks for a field report. Enthusiasm set at naught. She can't help looking bored. She's sick of power chords. I did it all, I did it all, I did it all, did it all for the love of a music journalist. She's got a sack full of demos she doesn't want to listen to. looks at the crappy covers, skims through a track or two. White lines, no appetite. Teen angst is in again tonight. Thesaurus and a dictaphone. All she wants is a wave to call her own. I did it all. I did it all. I did it all. I did it all for the love of a music journalist. Oh, huh. Oh. Sorry, that was.
No, it was great.
So...
I'm glad that was a great request, Matthias. And
yeah,
you know,
it was a great.
If Green Leaves is somewhat close to your fingers and your memory, I'd love to hear that. I'd love to squeak that in if.
Yeah, okay.
If you're up for it.
Well, of course. I mean, I haven't wasted any time talking between the songs, so I mean, we've got tons of time for Green Leaf. Okay, great, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, Nev Clay, everyone. Again, there's a link to his music in the video description on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll put it up in Twitch as well for the people watching over there. But yeah, this is one of my favourite songs in 2020 in the summer. On my very birthday, Nev posted a little video of this song, and it just really struck me to my core. And then I learnt it, and then kind of got inside Dad for Shad, which is what I like to call it, tuning. D-A-D, F-sharp, A-D. Like it properly sort of like demystified that tuning for me. So I owe you a technical thank you as well for that.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Sweetman. Let's see how it's sounding. It's not quite there, is it? Right, I think we're there. Sorry, Tim. I'm a stickler. I'm a stickler for a. I can't. It's just painful, isn't it, when a guitar's out of tune? Just agony. So. This is why. This is why I started talking. Between songs and during songs, because I used to play a 12-string, right? And I did a tour. I did a UK tour with Catherine Williams, and I was using 4 different tunings. So I only had 6 songs to play, right? But so I was retuning the guitar like between every song, and it was just ludicrous, you know. Hence all this. Oops. Hence all this nonsense, you know. Does that sound all right, Tim, to you?
It sounds lovely.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I think your listeners will find that if they go back on YouTube, your version last week will be better than this original this
Do not
week.
believe it. Do not believe it.
There's no reason for our arrival here, and no knowing when we'll go. It's only humans who look for answers. Sometimes the green leaves fall before the gold. The council planted 100 saplings here, most of them thriving and growing old. But some were uprooted by stupid children. Sometimes the green leaves fall before the gold. I'm not showing off, but I used to volunteer at a local hospice. There's nothing to say. Sometimes the green leaves fall before the gold. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Nev. It's
Thank you,
a
Tim.
magic song. Just like so few. I don't know. I feel like you are a national treasure of the UK in terms of songwriting. Just that your ability to meld sadness and beauty and humor and interesting references and stuff. And it's we're lucky to have you. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Tim.
And we'll definitely have you back at some point. I feel like this is it now. I'm just doing this forever. So
Brilliant.
Hopefully see you at some point in real life or on this
Fantastic.
thing sometime soon. I'm going to keep going and play a few more songs, but we're going to say goodbye to Nev for now. But
Bye bye. And thanks
thank
for
you
the
so
request.
much. Yeah.
Thank you, Tim.
Take care, Nev.
Thank you.
That's Nev, everyone. What an absolute delight. Such a fan of his writing, a really incredible musician. If you're in the UK, get out and see him when you can. I know he plays quite a bit up around Newcastle, and and he's got some stuff on Spotify and Bandcamp and all those things, and there's links in the video description, so check that out. Thanks again to everyone who's been supporting. Again, 50% of the donations go to the guest artist. So, keeps the whole thing ticking over. I'm going to play another song, and then we've got a special feature, a brand new feature involving wildlife. You'll have to stick around if you want to see what that's about. I'm going to tune now. But I'm going to play the song that my grandma didn't think I was going to play when I didn't play the Nat King Cole song, if that makes sense. It's called All We Know. I almost called it For All We Know. Flippin' heck. And it's from my last record, Parallel Line, and it's about not being aware of the good things that you have in your life.
All we as much as you like, but it's more than enough. Thank you very much.
That's all we know. So as promised, gonna get in here with a little feature. When I was back home in the UK last August, I found out that my mum had set up a night vision camera in the garden by a little hole in the ground because she thought that maybe there was some badgers going in there, and she wanted to see it. It's like motion triggered, so if something comes past, it sets the camera off. And I thought that would be really good stuff to put in the stream because she actually has captured like quite a few animals, and she had a surprise last summer because she saw something and she's like, could it be? So drum roll. This is the first edition of Mum's Badger Cam. So I'm gonna set the scene a little bit first. We're gonna get to see a little bit of just the black and white world of the nighttime, and then you'll see the visitor. Maybe we can have some guesses in the chat of what it is that we're seeing. It showed up last July, and then it showed up a couple of times this December and January. So yeah, let me know if you know what it is. Any guesses? It's not a very big rat. We even get sound on this, it's great. Got Stoat from Bone Dango, Ferret from Roman. Bone Dango is the winner with otter. It's an otter. She even, a couple of weeks ago, had an otter specialist come to visit, to check. And the otter specialist took her around the garden and they looked for badger scat. Is that the right term? I don't know what you've won, Bone Dango, actually. Bone Dango, you've won the ability to... We're going to raid your stream after this. So anybody who's watching on Twitch, we're going to go over to Bone Dango's stream, Mr. Ewan Fisher, who's going to do an electronic music set after this for the good folks on the internet. But yeah, Otter. Dave Percival's got it as well. It was an otter. So yeah, the otter specialist went looking with her for some otter poo, and you'll have to remind me, Mum. They're like, if you pick at it and it smells like poo, then it's not otter poo. But if you pick at it and it smells like something else. Anyway, let me know what it is that otter poo smells like. So if anybody wants to go around and check some poo, see if it's otter poo, that's great. Loutre. Loutre is otter in French. Huh. Interesting. Learned something new today. And yeah, just to, Anna was appreciating, jasmine tea. If you pick at the poo and it smells of jasmine tea, then it's an otter. Don't try it with your own poo because you might find out that you're actually an otter. And that would be, I mean, there's lots of other reasons to not do it as well. But yeah, my friend Sydney Smith, who I have a little weekday stream with in the mornings where he works on his illustrations and I work on my music, painted this. Good little point to put the little link to the channel where we do that. Matthias says, I oughta make this a regular feature. I oughta. Why I oughta? Why I oughta? I mean, I've got the graphic for it, so I might as well. I'm gonna play a request from Mask Self, who requested this last week, and I lent it just specially, so it's a new one. I'm gonna use the power of my tuner to tune it. And then I'm gonna do one more. We're running out of time, so I'm not gonna get to the Sufjan Stevens this week, but I promise to do it next week, Constant. It was Constant who requested that, yes. I'm going to do this and then a Modest Mouse song that Jacqueline requested last week. And Streamlabs says, don't forget to drink water. This is Yoga by Björk.
Accidents that happen, follow the doors. Coincidence makes sense only with you. You don't have to speak. I feel emotional landscapes. They puzzle me. The riddle gets solved. And you push me up to a state of emergency. How beautiful to be state of emergency is where I want to be. That no one sees, you see deep inside of me. Every nerve that hurts you heal deep inside of you. You no longer speak. I feel emotional landscapes. They puzzle me, confused. The riddle gets solved. You push me on to this state of emergency. How beautiful to be state of emergency is where I want to be. State of
Björk. The one and only Björk. I was watching an Icelandic TV show yesterday called Trapped, and I swear that I heard they were talking about going to search somebody's house, and I swear I heard them say ransack, and it was translated as search or investigate. And I'd been listening to a History of English podcast that was talking about how like we have lots of Norse words in English that we got when the Vikings came over that relate to the kinds of things that the Vikings were doing, such as ransacking. And sure enough, I checked in with my Icelandic friend Etla, and she confirmed. Well, she thought I was just hearing things at first, but turns out yes, ransack comes from ransaka, which means to search the house. There you go. Two bits of word things this week, but some other violent words that came in from Old Norse: slaughter, scathe, ransack, gun, club, and berserk. and Stephen's giving us some River Otter footage. I'm gonna play one of my own, and then I'm gonna play the Modest Mouse thing. Yes, and also say Shinyan Kwaila. Happy New Year, Happy Chinese New Year, Happy Lunar New Year, Happy Year of the Tiger. I should have prepared my Mandarin song for this edition, but I forgot, and it takes a lot of work. I'm gonna do folds actually. Forget that retuning. Pretend it didn't happen. Also, there's always news breaking on this Icelandic TV shows over Twitter. They keep seeing it live on Twitter. This is false. It does not make you want to visit Iceland in the winter. And I keep thinking that, but it's just exactly the same here. Snow blowing like crazy.
Climb up this fleshy frame, hands and feet a fist stretching up above me. This man-made shoulder wide at its broken side. Wind roars, I lost my step, cushioning my back, the signs that came to greet me. Fallen, ranked and filed, away with all the wherewithal. And when touch the sun, remember what it's for. The heat pulling sweat from your pores. See it in their eyes and shoulders. Cushioning your lies and fold eyes. I see it if you pushed it forward. We've got it wrong. Still it's a shineless night, weightless in the folds of wings and silent feathers. But still we'll push over land, as breathless as the day we came. And when you touch the sun, remember what it's for. The sweat from your pores. You see it in their eyes and shoulders, questioning your lies and fold eyes. Cause even if you pushed it forward, we've got it
That was Folds. Gonna do one more for you. So for those who don't regularly watch, I do this every week at the same time, 3 p.m. in the Eastern Standard Time region of the North Americas, 4 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, 8 p.m. in the UK, 9 p.m. in Central Europe, noon out on the West Coast. So set your reminders, like the page, etc., if you want to keep track of it. And we have guests most weeks. Next week is the wonderful Ben Kaplan, who I was on tour with in the UK quite recently, just in November. No, not in the UK, in Germany. I was on tour with him in Germany, and we tried to perfect our whistle registers, and he definitely did a lot better than me. And if people request, then maybe he'll have a crack at it. Thank you very much, Stephen. And hiya, Colin. I missed you there before. Gonna do some retuning here. I'm going to play a Modest Mouse song that was requested by Jacqueline. Oh no. And it's mostly the same note. It's C, G, C, G, and then this is the nice bit, B, C. But I got to know this song mostly through a Mark Kozelik cover. Called Space Travel is Boring. But yeah, pop in next week if you want to, or any week. I'm always going to be here because I love doing it. You lot are really nice. Thank you, Stephen, for the kind words on that song on the last. And yeah, if there's any guests that you would like to see on here, please let me know. If there's some songs that you think of in the middle of the week that you want to hear, send me a message. I'm always up for ideas. And obviously, I think my mum sent me some more wildlife camera footage, so keep your eyes peeled. There's going to be more. But yeah, you're a lovely lot, and it's a treat to be with you. So thank you for joining. And thank you for sharing, all the folks who've been sharing and the people who've been donating. It means so much.
Myself past some far off moon it was. Second class but what's to lose. Looking out a window, she can more than assume that she can't see air or time. She's the only rocketeer in the whole damn place. She gave her a mirror so she could talk to her face. Got plenty long, that's just the case. Time. Started hearing voices sometime in June. Knew she'd go crazy, but not that soon. She doesn't feel lonely, she just assumes. Try. my shot to the moon. I read a paperback and I wanna come home soon. I'm shot to the moon. Been half an hour and I wanna come home soon. Soon, soon, soon. I shot to the moon. I read a paperback and I wanna come home soon. I'm shot to the moon. Been half an hour and I wanna come home soon. I'm shot to the moon. I read a paperback and I wanna come home soon. I'm shot to the moon. Read a paperback and I wanna come home soon. I'm shot to the moon. Been there half an hour and I wanna come home soon.
Space travel is boring. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. John Jones, Can I Play You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette when you show the Atacam next week. Very good. I mean, just pun away. I like to know that I'm not the only one punning on here. It's been a treat. Thank you so much for listening. We'll definitely be doing more of all of those kinds of things. Might have a couple of weeks pause for the Badgercam action. But we're going to raid, for the people watching on Twitch, we're going to raid Ewan's stream. He's doing some electronic music over in London. Constant, are you ready for that? I think you're at the controls. You know how to make that happen. But for everyone else, we will see you next week, I hope. Yeah, it's been a treat. Ta-ta.